where I started about a week and some change ago. I want to go to sleep. I can't because I missed my train. I'm very tired. But one thing I have is money thanks to you guys. So, thank you so much. Thanks so much for the donations and even the free pint that just arrived. Appreciate that. I am absolutely exhausted, to say the very least. And I, for one, am ready to call it a day. But I can't, because my train's not for another hour and change. So I'm going to quickly say to everyone that I'm alive, see if anyone... This trip has just been a struggle. In a good way. In a good way. Probably the... It's not a pint over. Morning, Troy. I have my first pint back over here. Kind of hard to pin down when my last drink in the States was. It was about an hour and a half before I went live, before I got on the plane. That flight was a disaster. It was so bad. Where the flight over was incredibly underbooked, this one was borderline overbooked. And the guy in front of me was losing his mind. Beer and Mountain Dew. Actually, it was I got a cherry Pepsi because I wanted something sweet and non-alcoholic. Any donations in the link, greatly appreciated. At this point, whatever. Although if you do, I'll be able to immediately buy something with it because weatherspoons. So I'm stinky and I'm tired. And I got beer. It's not the end of the world. I can't fly. They would toss me off the plane. Oh, I felt it. I felt that for the first time in many years. Everyone was bumping into me. Everyone was asking me to get up every 5 seconds. There was all these Americans who were trying to get to their connection flight. It seems that particular Dublin flight was connecting to a much wider network of stuff. A lot of people had already missed their flight, so they were cranky. There was a baby on board, but it didn't cry once. But what did cry was the 70-year-old man who was adamant that I asked for extra leg room. I want extra leg room. It's right here in my paper. And the poor girl who's working for the airline is like, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, but as you can see, we're completely done up. It was so bad. So much so that I was worried he was going to have us cancel the flight. Like the flight was going to be diverted and he would get arrested. It'd be great seeing him getting dragged off the plane, but it wouldn't be worth it. Beyond that, the food wasn't great. You couldn't see anything. And it was stinky, because I was stinky as well. The trip up, after Tirnanog, the trip up to the airport was pretty straightforward. Hold on. Claire sent me a drink as a sort of welcome home. Of course, it was a Foster's. which I suppose the best thing I can say about it is that it's cold. Use the sink in the bathroom, take a bath. Yeah, I'm actually gonna do that. I'm gonna when I'm finished these 2 pints, I'm gonna go upstairs and switch out what's left of my clean clothes with that. Just so I can get on the train with a little more dignity, which I don't have much of. I'm going to be going to Colney Station, and then Carrick, and if I'm really lucky, when I get off the station at Carrick, there will be the bus waiting outside. If not, Commissar Feelgood says she can put me up for the night, or I could take a brief crash and then try to flag down a bus later in the evening. That'll work too. But at that point, I'd probably be getting stoned with her, so what's the point? I like the woman, but I really don't want to socialise. I've hit my limit on people, basically. I don't want to be outside. I don't want to be dealing with even like good-looking girls handing me beer. It's gotten that sad now that I don't want to be talking to service workers and interesting, awesome people who want to get drunk with me. Except for you guys. You guys don't have a face. You're just a collection of texts. I sometimes put faces to your names. Not always. I'd stream on the train, but nowadays they don't give you a... post-COVID, they stopped giving unlimited internet. All I'm going to say is I just swallowed something in that pint. I'm going to be polite and not say anything. Maybe thinking of Aaron Ra when I text. Oh yeah, I always do. I think he was a skinnier Aaron Ra. Aaron Ra's a fucking blimp of a man. He's better dressed than you are, though. So, it was a wild trip. It's still technically going, but everyone's bowed out one by one. Krendar has been home for hours now. He's probably fast asleep. Mickey Richards already put a video out. Magicus already put a live stream out. Raisin is redacted, and yeah, as for your boy, he's back here in his homeland. And he's very tired. And he's weighing up the pros and cons of the trip. And overall, the trip was worth it. The trip was worth it. Not by much. I'd say 20. It wins out by 20%. If it's an equal shit and gold, then the gold just slightly wins out, which is all that matters. But oofty. We learned some lessons from this one. Number 1, save better. These next few months are going to be bleak because I won't be doing anything except for saving for January, and obviously paying bills, of which I will have many coming back to. Second, pack better. Third, make sure the place is worth your time. Like the hotel, the apartment we stayed at was totally fine for what it was, but the last time I talked to the English girl who was living there with us, we talked about what we'd put in like our Yelp reviews or our Booking.com reviews, and it's going to be about 2. I'm saying it's going to be about 2. It's not going to be a good time. The best thing you can say is that it's cheap, has good location, and unlike a hostel, it gives you a bit of privacy. which is nice. Didn't have anywhere to clean clothes, and none of the machines really worked. There was a lot of even the TV didn't work, but whatever. It was in a great location and it wasn't that expensive. Now this time around it will be not bad either, because I booked it off season in advance. €453 for the Cambria. Looking forward to it. It'll give me time to get back on the treadmill and put a bunch of dollars together and make plans. Like, I've got some crazy schemes I had planned for January, and the same as before, it's an open invitation. Anyone who can get up to January for the long weekend. Like I told Raisin, like bring. I was saying this in Tirna. Technically, for me today, that's how long I've been traveling. It's weird. I'm in a completely different continent now from when I was talking about this. The power of travel, am I right? I was like, why don't you find a minder for the weekend and find yourself an accommodation and get your friend who hung out with us up at her place to come up and join you, and we have a big old bash, big old birthday bash. That way they can get liquored up and go back home and not having to worry about driving. Then, like I've got crazy ideas. We should go to do the axe throwing again, like actually do it this time. Also, we could just go on a big shopping spree. Like I said, maybe I'll pick up Claire's suit for the wedding, even though now it's a year in advance, so whatever. Makes sense if you knew what was going on with her life. I won't lie, I'm actually really grateful, because it does free me up a bit. It makes the idea of going to Vancouver at the end of next year kind of realistic. But at the same time, if it's too early in the next year, 2026, yeah, I probably will just go out. I'll probably just save up normal anyway. Or at least I should pay off the hotel. All these are things in the future. I am absolutely... I'm gutted I don't even have a 20 to my name. I don't even have a 10 to my name. I couldn't buy a bottle of water in the airport. I had so little money. I have a wad of American coins that will be useful in January. I hate to say it, I didn't find a better deal out in Philadelphia better than this. And that makes me sad. That makes me very sad. €2.50 for a beer. It's not the best, but whatever. €3 for a named beer. Yeah, not the best, but hell no. I want the Carlsberg, $6, $7? Fuck off. What's America come to? What's happened, America? It used to be cool. Those are London prices. I thought you were trying to get away from the English. So enough statues being proud they didn't have to deal with taxation. Of course, I'm actually all for taxation, but like at the same time, I'm also poor, so don't tax my alcohol. Such a hypocrite. I'll tell you one place where one thing that America was doing really well on in terms of prices was food. A lot of restaurants we went to, they were fairly reasonable for what you got, and sometimes we got a lot. Like Cutters. Holy shit, that was a big meal for $15. And a beer too. But even the beer was $6. And that was a can. kind of youngling, which is nice. I like living room, but still. So I'll head back to, like I said, if I head back to Commissar Feelgoods, I actually left some stuff there with her. I really just want to go home. Driving to work now. All right, Troy, you have fun, and by fun I mean don't go postal on all the cabbages and lettuce. They have to end up being in lame-ass salads and being tossed away in burgers. I'll just ramble to myself, listen to my ears readjust to the Irish pressure system. No, I had fun. I'm just wrecked. But at the same time, alcohol. I'll actually leave changing until after the stream's over. I learned from Tierna Nogue that I could be risking some pretty bad still shots. That pub was cool, but I felt out of place. I was a dirty boy. I feel more scummy here, but I fit in. A lot of dodgy people come to this pub, and a lot of cool people too. It's a mixed bag. A lot of students come here because it's the only place they can afford. Like the breakfasts are really good value. Traditional Irish breakfast for a £5. Yeah. And you get for €1.75, you get 1 cup of coffee and then you get unlimited refills. Which that at least was still going on in the diner we were at. Let's see, what's the most expensive breakfast here? It's a large Irish breakfast, but not the traditional Irish breakfast, but a large Irish breakfast. 2 fried eggs, bacon, 2 pork sausages, baked beans, which makes it English, but we're not going to pretend that, black pudding, and 2 slices of toast. Well, that's for a tenner. That's $9.20, but still. Tell you, this will be the last time. This is actually the last time I'm going to be drinking, at least until October. I'm going to pick up a few. I'm going to find some way to scrounge together enough money to pick up a few basics like bread and milk and shit. Someone's playing an original Game Boy over there. Fucking sweet. Fucking sweet. Hell yeah. And then I'll just be off the grid for a while. But like I said, I will be editing the 2 videos that will come out from this trip. I've even got an idea in my head for a big collage thumbnail of all the highlight moments. That'll be cool. That'll be cool. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot going on. I hope everyone else had a lot of fun. Like I asked around, and everyone consensus was, I mean, hell, everyone wants to come back. Brendar even wants to come back, but he just can't come back for January. But he'll be down for like Vancouver or something like that. It'd actually be pretty cool if I went to Vancouver with a Canadian, because you know you'd be able to have those moments. Well, I also told something to Magicus at one point that he was shocked by, and he was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." If anyone ever wants to come over to here, I've got a free bedroom and a free bathroom. It ain't much, but you'd have your own privacy and you'd have your own bedroom. Plus, you'd have a tour guide and, we'd stock the fridge for you. Well, we'd give you a few days head start on food. Yeah, like I've been saying this for years. And Magic was like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, yeah, just go and look online for the prices. For the flights. Save yourself up some money and invite out who you want to invite out, if you even want to invite anyone else out as well. That could be a cool new adventure. Because while I love going overseas, while I love, even a part of me now is hoping that tomorrow I wake up and I'm grabbing a plane over to like Spain or something like that. No, there's nothing crazy about it. Like, come over. I'll show you Ireland for like 5 days. Maybe 4. No, 5 days. That's a good enough time for Ireland. Ireland best experienced. Honestly, via a car, but you can do it via bus and stuff like that too. Dublin is good for about 2 days. And then after that you kind of just go out to the countryside. You see the Newgrange, you see what's the name of that? Like the Aran Islands, you go out to like the Blarney Stone, you can go up north, which is not that scary. It's not that scary at all. Trust me on that front. You go up to Derry and Belfast. Belfast is a very bougie city. You go up to another good example would be go up to Galway. That's a lot of fun for a night, especially if you know there's a music and it's some place playing music. The King's Head is where everyone goes, but the ones I always think of is the Beer House. It was the first ever craft bar I ever went to. It was crazy. It used to have wall-to-wall comic books. I've I've filmed out of it and streamed out of it before. It's pretty great. Of course, you got the Aran Islands. I don't know if Mickey Richards ever that you get a base signal in like the one pub on the island, maybe the ramshackle hotel. You go out there to get away from modern. I'm surprised they have electricity. And of course, because Ireland is so close to the UK, if you want, you just spend a little bit of money at the port and you just hop on a boat, and a few hours, you could spend a day out in Wales just to say you did it. Or even just hop on it's like sometimes it can be as low as 17 to hop on a plane out to London. So if you went out for the day, it's very doable. Hey Lev, why don't you do that? Because I'm always saving up for either gaming stuff or going to America. While I'm drinking this, I'm gonna go and buy myself another. While I drink this beer, I'm gonna get another beer. The beer hole. The beer hole. At this point now, I might as well be the beer hole. Not for much longer. So, penny. That's where I'm at right now. I'm going to be smart enough to say I'm not going to tell you my table, because if you want to donate to give me something, just go and give me the money. For example, I'm drinking a pint of Abbott's there before. That's $2.60. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like the way they keep on asking for my information each time. Let's grab my pint real quick here. Luckily you can't see what's happening on screen. And there we go. All right. Now, as I was saying before I was alcoholically interrupted, yeah, the that in America is very telling. I mean, for example, when I met that girl, I met her pretty late in the trip, and I had very little to work with. All my clothes hadn't been washed. My room was a bit of a sty. It was scorching hot. The AC could not compete. Like I just couldn't stand up to that level of crap, you know. And she didn't have a good time, and I didn't have a good time. But then she stuck around after, just nice of her. I think she likes the idea of if she meets up again in January, she's going to go to a real hotel. But she might not, so whatever. But I had fun. She had, I hope, some level of fun. And little tip: if you're like scorching hot in a bed with somebody, just go into the shower, take a towel, soak it in water, bring it back in, and just wipe each other down with it. You could say, "Ooh, how erotic!" Oh, are you kidding me? This is almost like triage at that point. Also, I'm waiting for that. OnePlus I should get in the next few days. I should get the safety deposit back. I probably won't get the whole thing back, but you know.
97? We had no Abbott Ale, so I just gave you one similar.
That's great. Appreciate it. I must have drained the Abbott last time I was here. I was drinking like 8 pints before I left. That probably means the next drink I should get shouldn't be an Abbott, just make their life a little easier. As for how long I'll be here for, I only had about 30 in the account. If anyone donates, that will increase. But I mean, I have to go in about, I don't know, 45 minutes. 45 minutes to an hour, that's to say. Probably not an hour, maybe 50 minutes. And then I'll head off to, and then my train is off, and I can head home, and I can just, well, probably some craziness will happen then there too. Oh my God. Hate to say it, but because it's so cold, Foster's actually tastes good here. Never tell Red Eye. It'll be a long while before we do BR again. Well, first Friday of next month, and it's just actually not that far away. But I know Krendar is loving to get back to just his little Krendarium nest and just sort of hide there. And frankly, that sounds pretty amazing, because that's what I want to do. I want to boot up Crusader Kings and get my hands on that new DLC. I was thinking for a while, what was the name of the game that we've been playing, and it was Fallout London. So I need to go back streaming Fallout London with you guys. I just want to be sitting in my room and in my robe and listening to a history lecture while playing a history game and drinking large amounts of tea. Yeah, that's pretty pog right now, I'm not gonna lie. Well, like I said, day after tomorrow I'll probably start editing. Well, what I'll do is I'll tell you how my process works. I take all the footage, and I take all the footage that everyone else took, and I put it in a big folder. And I have to separate the pictures from the videos. And I go through each one, and because there's 2 videos, I'm going to have to separate them into 2 folders, actually, now I'm thinking of it. And then it's going to turn into what I call the raw footage, which is going to be the entirety of everything we did. And then it'll be all the entirety of all the food stuff we did. And then I will start editing each raw footage every day until I will have something close to a video. Then I will put in all the extras, like cutaway jokes, audio stings, zooms, text. Probably a lot of text. It's cheap and easy. Like me. Give me money. And from there, I will upload 1 or 2 of them before we're back on to the regular scheduled program, which includes the watch parties. But while I'm also off, I made a promise. Well, I didn't make a promise to Girly. I told Girly I would go and start watching all the a bunch of like suggested stuff. So I guess I did make a promise. But she's thrown out a few anime suggestions my way, and I'm like, fuck it. All right, we balling. Yeah, I can make that work. A lot of really interesting animes. It's like the isekai ones where like, oh, we've been transported to another dimension and stuff like that. But it's also stuff like protagonist becomes a giant lobster. How does he survive? Surprisingly well, in fact, and being a lobster is a lot more fun than you think. Also, we'll be getting back to the watch party, which will include a lot of horror films, as it will be October. In fact, because it's October, we should do it every week. Oh, sorry about that. Switching out the breakfast menus to the lunch menus. I'm not eating it. I'm hungry. The last thing I ate was on the plane. So, if you're wondering what we ate, we had a choice between chicken, vegetarian, and beef. And I picked the beef this time because I picked chicken last time. The chicken was good. Chicken curry was good. The beef was bleh. It was very bleh. Last real meal I had before taking off, breakfast. Technically, I had 2 breakfasts. So I did the Hobbit thing and I had the second breakfast, but I had one in the diner on Broad Street, and I had the other beforehand. It was the leftovers from the night before, the big roasted pork thing. That should be up on the stream. I'm very glad I took that back. It was delish. Though it was a little more chewy put in the microwave. That'll ruin anything, you know. Chef Mike has no chill. Except for the Hot Pockets, apparently. The mukbang, by statistics, the mukbang was the most popular thing. I got the most people popping in to say what the fuck. And it had the most people to like it and even subscribe over it. But then, of course, the Mickey Magicus makeout in the boot bar, Das Boot, the saddle bar. So it was already pretty homoerotically charged in a place like that. Yeah, that was probably the most successful on my part. No shit. That money you guys donated, I combined it with what was left of mine, and I went out on my date with the girl the next night with it. So you guys basically paid for my date. It was alright. It was alright. I appreciate it. That was wild. That's American Tinder for you. My God, they're just like, oh yeah, you free? Yeah. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Hell, even when I landed, I saw I got a like, and the girl was from Michigan. I'm like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? What do you do? Lady, honey, even if I was still in Pennsylvania, what? You're hot. She has this whole Greek vibe to her that's really hot. What do you want me to do? I'm a poor little sweet boy. But I am telling a lot of the women who are liking me now, I am back in January. Michigan is alright. Of course you'd say that, Troy, wouldn't you? Oh, there was a girl who worked in the boot bar who looked like Sinead O'Connor, and she's from with a really cool shirt. She had this like it was like a black shirt with all these like squiggly. There was this old Windows 98 screensaver where it was just a bunch of multicolored lines that would wiggle across the screen. Imagine that all across a shirt. It was good shit. But she was talking about how she grew up in Michigan. I was wearing my DP shirt, so I said, "Oh, this name here, Ben. He's from Ohio, so he'd be kind of pissed if I didn't say fuck Michigan." And he's like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "Yeah. I know what you're talking about. We wouldn't get along. We would not get along." Just got off to work. Just got to work. A semi almost sideswiped the 4 cars in front of me. Fuck's sake. Always something crazy on that stretch of highway. Yeah, Christ, that's like a regular thing. I'm surprised they don't call it the highway of death. Everyone all signs like farewell letters like it's the American Civil War before going off to drive down to work every day. Dude, Ohio is smelly. Ohio can be smelly. It can also smell really nice. Wheelersburg didn't smell that bad. Mostly smelled like snow. Cleveland was a little smelly. Cleveland. I'd like to get back to Cleveland at some point. Trains always crash there too. Yeah. I got some really the subways in Philly were, on the most part, okay. I only had one major issue with it, but I can't really complain too much. My ears are still popping. What the hell? Yeah, it was only one time, and it was on my date, my very first one. I needed to get south of City Hall, on Broad, and of course that was the day where the South service was heavily delayed. So what chance did I have? Very well, in fact. I actually made it ahead of time. Oh, my nose is still absolutely... I haven't coughed since landing, but I have had incredibly congested nose. So when I'm upstairs in the toilet next, I'll go and give it a good old sneeze. Get out of my system. Though, I can't be streaming for too much longer. I'd say about half an hour. That guy looked like Chris Hemsworth. What the fuck? Hey, Thor just comes in and asks about the toilets. So, I guess I will have this, and then if I have time, I'll have one more. But like, I gotta go at 1, and it's about to go 12. I mean, the station is just around the corner, but I still have to walk up to it. But I can probably get one more in me, so I best order it now. Guys, if you're enjoying the stream, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And of course, if you are so inclined, please consider throwing an old dog, and as you can see from my eyes, I'm very old. Look at my eyebrows, I've noticed a lot of greys coming in there. See up there. That's the first of me greys. It's only a matter of time. And I throw this old grey, disheveled wreck a bone in the form of a dodo. Anything given? Greatly appreciated. How about I pick... Alright, I'm gonna pick Old Peculiar. God damn it. Sometimes the app changes up in a way I don't like. Complete purchase and complete purchase, complete purchase, complete purchase. There we go. Right, that's me. That might probably be my last drink tonight, or for the next how many days is it? 19th. Yeah, shit. Maybe. Sucks to be me. So. I'll make a little bit more footage up in, like on the trip back and everything up to walking into the front door. At that point, you know, quite honestly, is fuck off. Daddy needs his alone time, which is not a euphemism for anything. I'm just gonna curl up in my bed and maybe cry for a bit and then go to sleep. You know, normally what happens even on the best trips. It just comes with the territory, you know? You're an introvert. I was talking about this with Krendar in the I was talking about this with Krendar. Ow. Hold on. Oofed. Face you near the end of all things. We were having our breakfast. It was interesting how 4 of the 5 of the people who showed up were self-proclaimed introverts. But yeah, of course we were. We're online personalities. I will say, out of all of them, I think Magicus is the biggest. Like, he's the one who can deal with the most people. As for me, I have my limit. Mickey has his limit. Krandar has his limit. Raisin doesn't count because she's not an introvert, she's an extrovert. But she wants to defrag and get away from everyone. So at some point, she's got a limit too. This does taste different. It is something similar, but it's not as similar. You know. On my nose. Sometimes I wish I knew a girl online. We, whatever, like, mess around, role play, whatever. And she would sometimes say, "Oh, wouldn't it be great if you could just take your skin off and just clean it? Like clothes." I was like, "No. But you know what I'd like? Pop your nose out and just be able to clean it out like that. Like a pipe. Spray it down and..." That would be lovely. So when I was a kid, apparently, like, I got hit in the face with a football, a real football. And apparently this... something had never reset right. Some of the nostrils aren't as strong as they should be. That's why sports are dangerous and should be banned and should be replaced by esports, the superior sport. Except for women's sports. We can keep that. Especially tennis. Boxing. So, yeah, I'll have this pint once it shows up and I'll get out of here. Alas, it looks like I cannot go and change my clothes. But I'd rather... I mean, if I get a chance up in the train station, I will. But whatever. See that, chat? This is what happens when you grind your teeth. Bruxism. So that's why my teeth are all cubed. It is indeed. Thank you very much. I have 25 minutes to drink both of these. Wish me luck, chat. And I'm out of here. It was actually pretty cool to live stream at the time when a lot of my audience is expecting live streams. I'm this late night or early morning disc jockey for some people, which is brilliant. But to have like prime time put aside for me, hell yeah, might be why I was getting so many more views, you know. Also, I need to find why the phone doesn't do the audio thing. Like, you've received 10. Look, I know, J. Trudeau has topped up the pint glass by $3 or something like that. Or Buddy Boy Blue says, and then it's a sip. I have pancakes here. Nice. I got butter pancakes. I wanted something light after that big sandwich. But they still came out and these things were huge. And they were lovely. But there were one thing I didn't know is, like, they didn't give me butter with it. I like my pancakes to be savory more than sweet. That's why I didn't get any. Why I didn't even think of doing French toast. Because French toast over in America, as I've had conversations with Billy Boy Blue over this, it's like they're meant to be savory. They're meant to be basically just omelets that are wrapped around a piece of toast. Delicious on their own. You don't need to start putting sugar on them and shit. It's weird. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've had them that way too, and they're okay, but I don't know, it's like you're downgrading a really great piece of meat. You could add meat into it. I mean, if you can add it into the omelet mix, because that's all it is. You're basically just making an omelet and you're dipping the bread into it and you're putting it on the pan. But yeah. Oh, it's the same. It makes sense with the waffles though, because I had Eggo, so I get the English girl the Eggo, half a 3 liter of Coke, Pop-Tarts, and about 6 slices of American cheese. She looks like she eats very healthily from the one time I saw her making a meal for herself, which included a lot of vegetables and a really nice loaf. We were around the corner from a Sprouts, which was kind of cool. Had a Krendar's plan to live stream a cooking sesh. That could have never happened anyway. The quality, the internet strength in the kitchen just wasn't very good. Maybe if he'd have used his own payment plan or whatever, I don't know. But if we had done that, we'd have gone to Sprouts and we'd have aimed for top shelf stuff too, because that was some bougie stuff there. There was also a Whole Foods nearby, but we always just went to Target. We just picked up Target foods. Magicus loved the idea of like the sad American mukbang, and I was like, depressed stoner, 17 to 19-year-old. Your parents are out, but you know how to cook, so but you're not in the mood to cook something major, so you're not making a big meal, you're just there like, fuck it, I'll binge watch fucking Aqua-Team and smoke a bowl with some friends and put on some pizza rolls. And that's kind of what we were aiming for. By the way, the only thing that was stolen from the fridge the whole time was the pizza rolls. It's so weird, and Mickey thought that was bizarre and also sad because there was so many of them. There really was. It was like more than half a bag left. I've gone through that. I got through all the mac. I got through the mac and cheese. I had the Paw Patrol mac and cheese. Hell yeah! And I had the Transformers Lunchable. Sand below the poverty line. Parents sending their kids off to school with a Lunchable. Over here, it was a ham and cheese sandwich on like this regular white bread, a bit of fruit, and a juice box in this very sort of generic looking plastic lunch boxes. Maybe if they could, they would have gotten like the mega mix packs, or like the tiny little Kit Kats and tiny little Malteser bags that only contain like 5 Maltesers. Is that beer too? Oh God, no. We're on. This is either beer 3 or 4 now. I have one more after this. If you want to throw in more, you best be fast. I am on the clock. Otherwise, any donation will be welcome. Occasionally people just looking at it, oh, look at this homeless guy coming in, and they see that I'm like, I've got a camera on me, and they're like, oh, so he's a homeless guy with a twist. That's a fair assumption. That's it. I mean, I'm not homeless. I do dress the part. I got one item of clothing in Target, which is so annoying. It was a 5-pack of men's undies, the ones behind the glass. This black woman, like yay high, she was in her 50s, but she had this huge cornrow like tied in her back. It was very cool looking. Kind of waddled over on the side and said, yes sir, what would you like? And I pointed this, and she opens it, and I picked it up, and I said, thank you, and she said, bye, and that was it. I will say about Philadelphia, outside of Raisin, the most beautiful women by far are the black girls. They are everywhere, and they're gorgeous. There's plenty of good-looking white girls and Asian girls and everything else girls too, but they are dwarfed by the sheer quantity of just beautiful black women just wandering around. I'm just there like, great tattoo. Even when they have like face tattoos, which I'm normally not a big fan of face tattoos. There was this woman at the in front of us at the diner, and she had like a lightning bolt going down her eye, and it was very cool looking. All manner of weird ass weaves and hair and shit. Oh, this guy done. Troy, thank you so much for the €5. I don't have enough time to spend it here, but it's going to a good place. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. If I could, I would stay here, but I can't, so I'm not. Because at the end of the day, this is nice. But I gotta go home. I think we can all agree I've been on quite an adventure, and this little rascal needs to be tucked into bed with some cookies and milk. Actually, what would I like right now? Bacon sandwich. I don't have enough time for a bacon sandwich, so strawberry banana smoothie I'm drinking. Oh, nice, healthy. Respect. Like I said, Troy, we're going to be getting back into the watch parties. We're going to watch a lot of spooky movies, a lot of interesting movies out there. And one of the things I think we should do is, I want to see Abigail. I saw it on the plane. I watched it for a few minutes, and then, I don't know, I just didn't feel comfy on the flight back because it was, well, just not a comfy flight. Jeez, I'm going to get on this plane with jarred plane. See what I mean? And through that hero show. Oh, cool. What do you make of it? I gotta go through the anime that Gertie suggested. And I also think, fuck it, I'll just say it. I think we should go and watch Beetlejuice. Because I was going to see what Raisin and the rest of them, but... So yeah, we should watch that at some point. I want to see... I'll tell you what I want to see. I want to see the Terrifier films, 1 and 2. I hear they're great. I'm not a huge fan of horror, like gore horror and whatever. Not because I'm like, ew, disgusting. Rather, it fails to make me go, like, what the fuck? But as Bill Portley pointed out, if it gets creative enough, it can make my stomach turn, and that is still something. Oh God. I'm over the point now where it's like yummy makes me go, ooh. It's just a skyscraper skyline of empty pint glasses here. This is our last one. Anything given, greatly appreciated, but I'll use that in future endeavors. And something else. So yeah, we'll head up to the train station after this, and probably go to the toilet at some point. Christ, the amount of liquid is down in a very short amount of time. Though I will say this, it flew by. The train is 2 hours long. I'll be in touch in Discord and what have you, but yeah. When I'm outside the station, I will look around for the bus. If I'm really feeling up for it, I'll head over to the bus stop, or if not, Commissar Feelgoods, who has already said they can put me up. I just need to make my mind up. Really depends if the bus is on time. If the bus isn't on time, there's a small chance you'll get one more stream out of me tonight. But I have a feeling I'll just go to sleep for a few hours and wake up and grab one of the last buses into Leitrim. And then I'll be like, ciao. If you're wondering what the weather's like compared to Philly, Philly was a little more humid, a little more hotter. There's a better wind going in Dublin, and there is just all around, like I'd prefer to be here in what I'm wearing compared to when I was wearing this over in Philly. Anyway. This up. Well, I'm going to wrap it up by finishing a beer in 10 minutes, which is hardly a great mountain to climb. This might very well be the last stream of the actual night. And I guess all I'm going to say is thanks everyone who showed up. And I don't just mean showed up in person, that was awesome, but showed up actually like in chat. For all the crazy streams we had. We had a few. You look at me sometimes, I'm on stream and it's just me. It's a weird angle on my face. I don't know why it's doing that weird green thing. But no, you guys were awesome in chat. You guys were awesome in the donations you gave, and you were also awesome in the subscriptions that you had. And best of all, you were just awesome. And the ones who I met in person, hell yeah. But Daddy needs to go home. Claire, you're here right at the end of all things. Not quite, we have 10 minutes to kill. Troy, thanks again, by the way, for the Fosters. Troy threw me a $5, but I'm going to keep that for rainier days as my My train is in under an hour. I gotta clock in now. Sweet. As in, like, shame, but oh, I think you're struggling along. Yeah, it's been. This is a weird last stream, but I mean, whatever. I think when I'm off again in January, I'll use the lessons I learned here. One thing's for sure, I'm definitely getting back to treadmill because I walked a huge amount on this trip. And while I was a bit exhausted, I wasn't exhausted as I could have been because up to recently I had been working out. So if I keep it up, well then, you know? Anyway, it was great meeting Krendar. Probably the thing that stood out with me immediately the most, from my very first impressions of him, was he was waiting for his bags in a different gate. And I was in gate A and he was in gate D. Apparently that's where all the Canadians come in. They go in through gate D. And it took me ages, and with the help of a security guard, I eventually found gate D. And I was already getting flustered, and I was getting like a bit grumpy. And Krendar is there, and I see him, and I'm like, okay, so he is shorter than me for sure, but he is broader than me. And if the guy hit the weights a bit, he would have proper dwarf energy. Like he's a brick of a man. Then I've already met Mickey, but Magicus had lost tons of weight, which is pretty cool. He was wearing the same shirt as before. Raisin noticed this too. He had lost so much weight. And then, of course, it was Raisin. I'd forgotten how short she was in proportion to me. She comes up to like here. She needs a vacation. That's what I'm gonna say. Which maybe I'll give her that in January, you know? I'm gonna put it's gonna be weird getting on a public transport and have to flash any form of ID or anything like that. My bag did pretty well out of all this. This is the bag I normally bring my shopping in. It is literally called Cabin Max. It's designed to get as much onto an airplane as possible for as low cost as possible. Did pretty well. Did you get some food? I did not, and I'm out of time. I mean, I'm in the penny, and my train is at 1. So, yeah. I just got beer. I'm not feeling hungry, so I'm alright. I could chance my arm staying here a bit longer, but why, frankly? I should be smart and just, oh god, the flies have descended upon my my empties empire. I like the building that this is in, but it's all over the place. It's not designed for this. Had I come here a little earlier, I probably would have ordered food. And of course I could stay longer, but the next train after mine is like at 4. So I'm good. I like the upstairs there. Yeah, the upstairs is good. They've got the unlimited tea and coffee machine up there. Our coffee machine didn't work except after the first time. But they did have a kettle. So I used the Lipton tea bags I found there. Well, they were all gone. And then on today, by my standards, just before I left, I took the little coffee pod, smashed it open, poured the contents out in a cup, boiled a kettle, poured it in, stirred it a lot, and it wasn't good enough. It still was full of grounds, but still, it was still there. Right. Let's wrap this up. Bad for someone who's been up till like, you could argue up to 30 hours. The flies though are the final kicker. I do need to pee though. I should do it here before I go. Like I said, I'm going at half, so. When I came out here originally, this is where I got the Korean poke bowl that I've told on stream. And this is also where I met 2 guys by the name of David. Or Daniel, I forget which. In that room over there. There is another man in there right now. His name could also be Daniel. I don't know. I don't want to tempt fate. But what I do know is it feels longer than a week since being here. Jeez, the flies. Okay. Next stop, home. Maybe I checked, they are not. But one of them did subscribe to my channel. If you are seeing this, Daniel. Hello, Daniel. Thank you for being around me there, Daniel. You caught me at a weird time in my life there, Daniel. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. I got a train to catch. That's not a metaphor. Take care, and yeah, well, I guess I'll see you guys around Discord, and if not, you know, I'll be in touch somehow. Smoke signals maybe.